up, man? Merry fucking Christmas. Man, what's going on, man? Man, shout out to everybody out there, man. Man, we did it. We made it. That year went by. 2023 went by fast as fuck. You know what I mean? So, 2023, if you do some numerology, 2 and 2 is 4, 4 and 3 is 7. Yes, 7. You know what I mean? So, yes. This is the year of 7. Next year will be the year of 8. You know, so, but anyway, did Jesus come back? Oh, man. We did all that hooping and hollering and he didn't come back? It's all good. Shout out to everybody out there. If you at the corporate plantation, you working today on Christmas, man, I fuck with you. Get that paper. Get your paper, cuz. Shit, I ain't mad at you. Get your money. Shit. I used to work on all. I used to try to rob and take all that overtime money. Shit, we need it. But shout out to everybody out there at the court plantation. Do what they got to do. Man, shout out to my brother Dave from No Compromise. My brother James Youngblood. Man, shout out to the homegirl Shawnee, the homegirl Erica. You know what I'm saying? All my siblings out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Shout out to everybody out there. You know, Texas, Georgia, Vegas, Cali, Arizona. We all in the house. Shout out to my homegirls that's out there in Arizona as well. Shout out to my homegirl Jerica that live out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Me and her chop it up all the time. So shout out to everybody out there, man. You already know who it is. Been Sucker Beat since 2003. Now it's 2023. About to be 2024. 2024 will be the year of 8. Let's get it, man. Hey, we got a good topic today. We're going to talk about pointless drama in 2023. Let's get it. Yeah, man, I've been looking at the TD Jakes thing and all that. Look, man, let me tell y'all something. Let's just get this out the way. Let me tell y'all something. We have a lot of pointless drama in the black community. We be talking about shit that don't even matter. Let me tell you why we be talking about this shit. Like, they're trying to attach Puffy to TD Jakes and all this other stuff. It's like, sometimes we have to look at who is putting out this misinformation. The dominant society loves to do that. They love to find a group of black folk that don't like another group of black folk, and then they'll put out this misinformation, and it'll keep going. You know what I mean? And we kind of are the partakers in the information, because we like, oh man, you see, Puffy having all them parties. I guess everything they said was true. I'm not taking up a Puffy. I'm not saying that. I'm going to keep saying this, though. You notice they still ain't released them files about Jeffrey Epstein and all them people that was on his planes. The reason why I'm talking about this shit today, because we stay talking about each other. We stay talking about airing out all our dirty laundry amongst each other, going at each other on the internet, talking all this bullshit, putting each other out there, right? I'm waiting to see, and I want y'all to get y'all popcorn, and let's see when the dominant society start putting each other out there. That's why y'all notice I keep saying stand together in public, and then in private, that's when you have those uncomfortable conversations. You can agree to disagree. You don't have to agree with everything. But the reason why I'm saying that is because a lot of the times, man, like, we be trying to, like, perpetuate it a lot of times because we don't like certain things. Like, I'm not a big fan of big black mega churches. I'm not a big fan of a lot of these mega pastors like that because, you know, I grew up in the church and I have my own issues with the black church and what they could be doing. And that's why I said me, Dave from No Compromise, and the homeboy James Youngblood, we were already chopping it up about that shit. We already did a IG live about the black church. We've done Twitter spaces about the black church, and we moved on. Like, we on the other shit. This nigga still like, okay, now let's attach TD Jakes with Puffy. We don't know they dealings. We don't know what's going on. But I understand that people are upset with Puffy because of how he's treated his people, and I get that. But let me tell you something. The dominant society, look at Bernie Madoff. He fucked over a whole bunch of dominant society motherfuckers. He went to jail, and they moved on. They don't even talk about Bernie Madoff no more. They don't talk about Jeffrey Epstein no more. They don't talk about none of these people. Us, we'll just keep talking about over, and I get it because of frustration, we don't have money and all that, but some of the shit is pointless. Some of the shit was pointless, man, and I'm a big fan of, like, this is just my opinion. We gotta move into another mindset. You know what I mean? And the reason why I'm saying this is because the dominant society likes to sit back and watch us kill each other, destroy each other mentally. Mentally. They love that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And here, I'm trying to look up. Let's see. There's just a look. I get it. I remember me and Davey even touched on who we thought were the greatest lyricists in hip hop. We found that, me and him had that in common. The majority of our, the people that we hold in high regards in hip hop, it ain't Eminem, and that's no diss to Eminem and his lyrical skill set. But we don't need to keep going over this over. We got bigger matters at hand. And I love this too because, yeah, these are uncomfortable conversations, but you don't need to have them at the behest of black folk at the dominant society's entertainment. I saw Dr. Umar Johnson on Joe Budden's podcast. Y'all know Dr. Umar Johnson, how he is. And, I'm going to be the antagonist and protagonist. Hold on. I'm going to look him up on the... hold on. Okay, Dr. Umar. Hold on really quick. Hold on, let me look him up. Because he's on the Joe Budden podcast. Hold on real quick. Let me see if I can catch some clips. All right, let's see. I just want to see if we can... Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we can find. Hold on, let me see. We're gonna play something.
I believe you not to believe what you're saying. I don't believe.
Hold on. All right. All right, here we go.
I believe you not to believe what you're saying. I don't believe that you truly believe that someone should put everything they have into the mission. I don't see you doing that.
That's the only way we win.
I don't see you doing it though.
You don't see me doing it?
No.
Okay. Show me another psychologist who has done more to change the way black parents deal with the mental health and school system in this country.
I haven't seen, I know what you do, and for the sake of conversation, let me push back.
In history.
For the sake of conversation, I will push back. Where's the result? Show me some numbers. Show me something tangible I can.
So that's an antagonist. He's kind of antagonist. Let's see if we can find something else on here. If not, we're going to go back. Because I just want y'all to hear, some of these conversations to me that are, really not. Hold on, let's see. Let's see if we can find something.
18th. Yes.
No, this is just him talking. I want to find him on the Budden podcast. Because he was saying, he was basically talking about Eminem and all this other stuff. And I just was kind of like, man, why do we keep having these conversations about all this pointless shit that don't matter? And you like, what do you mean? Well, it's just the argument that it's just pointless.
Dr. Umar went to see Wakanda Forever.
Did he?
This is great.
What was his review?
Super.
Here, hold on. That ain't it either. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if it'll pull up. No, it's not pulling up. Hold on. If I can't find it, it's not a big deal. We'll just go from here. It ain't that big of a deal. And I'm listening to them argue and fight over Eminem, and I'm like, damn, me and David talking about this shit. David answered the question, and we moved the fuck on. Go check out his podcast. Go check out his Instagram. Like, we had this conversation, and I'm like, me and David had this conversation probably first quarter of 2023. We ain't talked about that shit since. We done moved on. Why are we still talking about that? And then we was talking about, it was basically telling this brother the show, like, oh, well, you're bunny hopping and all this other stuff. And that brother was like, well, I probably employ more black people than you. And I'm like, before you even go back and forth with people like that, the first thing I say is, bro, just clean up your own backyard. Once you start getting into who what person gonna be fucking all that other shit, like, that's when I'll be laughing. Like I told y'all before, because who made you the naysayer of who can fuck who? That's why I was laughing the whole time. This Umar talked to one of the dudes on Joe Biden's podcast, basically telling him, like, oh, you doing more harm to the black community. Hey, man, I understand what he's saying, and I get it. I guess I've just seen things differently being in Las Vegas, Nevada. I just listen to him, and I'm like, I give him props. And I like what he said. I get what he's saying, and I understand what he means. And I'm not dissing Dr. Umar Johnson. Now, on the antagonist side, we come from two different sides. I get what you're saying, strengthening the black race. You know, they've been the oppressor group. I get all that. I understand it. I've read enough books. I get what you're saying, my brother. But now I'm going to ask people this conversation. Who does more harm to the community? Black preachers, black folk that are predatory towards black people. I'm talking about black foundational black Americans that are predatory towards black foundational black Americans. I'm talking about as far as the housing market, as far as the church market, as far as telling people if they don't pay tithes, they'll go to church, they going to hell. While you in a Cadillac and they broke, living check to check. So who's doing more harm? No diss to brother Umar Johnson. Where the fuck is the school at, nigga? You went on Lord Jamar's show trying to argue him down. You talked all that shit about Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed done 10 Hidden Colors movies and got a black museum. What the fuck are you doing? And who told you were the naysayer of who people can fuck? Tell me that why when you can't even open up a goddamn school and do the distribution of the money that you receive from hundreds of thousands of black folk every day, and we ain't got no type of fucking tangible thing that you got going on. Every time we look up, you're doing a clip about how you clean up at the school. Then you was the one that was like, well, maybe I might have to get some white contracts because black folk. It's like, nigga, you done collected over $500,000. Where the fuck is the school at? Where is the school, nigga? And what are you doing with the money? That's what I'm saying. Like, we be so busy having pointless drama. Man, I've had these conversations at the gym. I told a nigga, I was like, dude, this nigga was like, man, I ain't got time to be going around and checking every nigga and every sister about who they fucking. He was like, I want to know, what are you doing to educate your kids? What you doing to recycle the money? I was like, man, my nigga. He was like, man, I don't want to hear that shit. This brother told me the same thing. He was like, nigga, I work around a bunch of black people. Their wife is black. Their husband is black. And then they treat each other like shit. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, man, you try to like, hey, man, I got this little LLC, man, you want to support? They don't fuck with you. But they fucking smiling in every dominant society face. He was like, bro, that's why I don't get into that shit. And I was laughing. And he was like, man, why you laughing? I said, because I've been thinking the same thing for years. Like, to me, we gotta move on from trying to regulate what a person does day to day, and we have to worry about cleaning up our backyard and handling our business mentally, financially, physically, and then we can come together as a people and see each other for who we are. We're so busy wanting to destroy and rebuild each other While every other racial group is doing what the fuck they want to do and laughing at us. I got love for Umar Johnson, but nigga, you cannot be telling no nigga who the fuck they can fuck and what sister who the fuck they can fuck. And my nigga, you ain't even got your shit popping the way you're supposed to be having it popping. You so busy talking shit about Tariq Nasheed and you made the Hidden Colors. Like, and niggas ignored that for the most part. But then when a nigga asks you about the school, and this isn't just come from me, this was other people. Go look at Lord Jamar's interview. He tried to go in on Lord Jamar. Lord Jamar was like, bro, I got family members that started their own school, bro. You got to start from the small. No, he want all this, oh, sisters came where. I like all his ideas and how he sees how the school should run. But nigga, when it comes from, I'm coming from a point of an everyday corporate plantation working motherfucker who work hard for his money and they giving it to you under the pretense of you're gonna build a black school and get it done. You done collected over $500,000 and we still don't have a school, nigga. But you're going around on these podcasts talking shit about niggas. You don't even know these niggas. You don't know these people, man. And that, like me, I grew up in a black church. So I saw all the hustle and all the gain that they run on people. But when it comes to financial stability that's being taught, they wasn't teaching that shit. That's my gripe and my issue with the black church. Straight up. They want to tell you what the boat and tell you, you know, how you can get one with God and all this other stuff. And nigga, they got property. They got all this other shit. And then when you grown and you ain't got shit, yeah, that's going to piss you off. Because it pissed me off. I was like, wait, hold on. Y'all didn't teach us the basic fundamentals of the United States of America Incorporated. That's what I'm saying. That's why I got love Umar, but sometimes some of the shit be comical. And that brother that was on Joe Budden's podcast, when he said, man, I probably employed more black people than you. He was brother too. And he was like, oh, you doing a disservice to black folk. Hey man, I'm not saying maybe he's not. I'm not saying black folk that dead outside their race. Hey, maybe you right. I don't know. I'm not the naysayer who people fuck. I don't wake up in the morning and be like, I wonder how many niggas is fucking Asian women. But that's just me though. That's just me. I got off that a long time ago because I was like, I'm telling you, I've only worked in one place, one corporate plantation where I worked around a bunch of black people and we all got along behind closed doors and nobody, and behind closed doors, we would chastise each other or hold each other accountable behind closed doors, but in public, we stood together. And that was Opportunity Village. That was the only place I ever worked. I had a little bit of it when I worked at the YMCA. Shout out to my niggas that worked with me at the Y. We had solidarity, but these black folk were older than me. And there was only one black woman that was a mammy. Everybody else was on coal. Everybody else was on coal. And it was some people at Opportunity Village that dated outside their race. But I tripped out how they treated each other. And I was like, damn, this is dope. So I got spoiled because I thought that's how you're supposed to be. Then when you start going in these other court plantations, you start seeing how black people act, it'll fuck you up. Because you'll be like, my bad. Then clip the clip out. I hope y'all niggas can hear me. There you go. Hello? Are you there? Houston, are you there? But anyway, yeah, man. I had a lot of that shit. So when I'm listening to Umar, I'm like, even when I listen to the elders like Professor James Smalls, Dr. Kabane, Dr. Phil Valentine, they even kind of talk to the point of like, hey man, you got to think about what matters most. All the other shit don't mean nothing. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, because I'm like, damn, bro, like, these are pointless. This is pointless drama. And Joe Budden probably just have him on there for clickbait. So, because he know Umar Johnson going to go in there and start talking a bunch of crazy bullshit. And not crazy bullshit, but like, to the average person, it's going to be crazy. It's not crazy to me because I understand his perspective and I see where he's going. I understand it wholeheartedly. I get it. I get both sides. But then I'm looking at the side like, I'm going to look at it from all perspectives. In the first perspective, well, who the fuck made you the naysayer over who people can have sexual relations with? Who the fuck is you? Like, that's the problem. Like, we have too many time-wasting mechanisms and pointless drama. And I've seen it throughout this whole year, especially after David said some real shit. He was just like, we're addicted to theater, bro. We're addicted to drama. Because if we didn't like drama, that wouldn't get clickbaits. But we like drama. Straight up. We like theater. I didn't make that up. David was the one who coined that term. Black folk are addicted to theater. That was the coldest shit I ever heard. And he said it in 2023. Straight up, the year 7. He said that shit. That's why I be giving that nigga so much props, because he like, man, you know what I like about what he be saying and James Upton, what they be saying, Eric Ashani? They'll wait and look at the whole perspective. So if you be saying some coon sucker shit and you with another race, oh, that explains it. Because most people, and I'll say it again, most black folk, when they date outside their race, they let that race, especially if it's the dominant society, that takes over their mental capacity, their mind frame, their perspective, how they look at things. That's what it does. Because they don't want to lose that racial group because they feel like they want something. But then you know, I remember that time when Russell Simmons was on MTV Cribs and he had all this like Asian artifacts in his house. And I remember my mom was like, I'll never forget this shit. My mom was like, this motherfucker get on my nerves. I was rolling. This is like early 2000s. She was like, this motherfucker get on my nerves. She was like, all right, okay, I get it. You fucking with the Asian girl, cool. But damn, nigga, you could have some black artifacts in that house too. And that caught my attention. Because my mom is a black woman. She just was like, damn, nigga, I get it. Go fuck. That was the first time I ever heard somebody be like, okay, I don't give a fuck who you fucking with. But damn, you not Asian, nigga. And that stuck with me the whole time. Like, dude, date whoever you want to date, but you're not them. And if they're dating a black man, they should be basically wanting to know more about black history because we're the progenitors of this earth. Ain't no black people, ain't no people on this earth. That's how my mom was kind of looking at it, and I kind of like adopted a lot of that shit. Like, damn, that do make sense. She's like, I don't give a fuck. She didn't say, this nigga. She just was like, okay, you fucking with the Asian girl, cool. But damn, nigga, you can have some black artifacts in your house because he had all these Asian artifacts in his house. They probably removed that shit from the internet. But it was MTV Cribs when he was married to Kimora Lee Simmons. And I think she's like half black too. I don't know. But he had all this Asian artifact shit in there. And I just was like, man, what? But I didn't say nothing. My mom was watching it too. We was all watching it. She was like, God damn, nigga, you ain't got no black artifacts in there? No African history, no nothing? You just got all this Asian shit in there? She's like, damn. And that's where the problem lies. When we start dating outside ways, we start adopting other people's history, but we don't want to discuss our own history. You see what I'm saying? That's where the problem lies. That's why a lot of times motherfuckers outside my race, they'll run away from me because I'd be like, look, woo, 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 woo. I'm going to always be like, nope. This is what we did. I don't give a fuck about that shit. And I think a lot of us, we probably don't want to have those uncomfortable conversations. That's fine if you don't want to do that, because I can't get all in your business. I don't know what the fuck you got going on. But I feel like that's a private matter we should be discussing. Not something public that we keep talking about over and over and over again. Only reason why I'm saying this is because when you look at the dominant society, they handle all their shit in silence. You don't know what the fuck they got going on. They don't tell you nothing. You just learn from it by being around them, and then you like, oh, okay, I get it. If they allow you to be around them long enough, and they'll give you some information, but all this other shit, when's the last time you seen a dominant society, Jewish brother or sister, put their culture's business out there and their racial matters out there in public display? They just don't do it. And now they're trying to add TD Jakes to it. It's like, man, now y'all, look, I'm not a big fan of the mega churches and the mega pastors and all this other shit. But goddamn, man, sometimes we do too much of the devil's work. We got comedians talking about reparations and niggas on the internet talking about Puff Daddy and TD Jakes. I just be like, man, Y'all niggas are the problem to me. Straight up. That's what the problem is. Like David said, you know, addicted to the theater. And that's why I've been looking, I'm like, man. Motherfuckers like, what you talking about? Look, let me tell you something. I work around a lot of black folk, and black folk will replicate the dominant society's behavior. What do you mean? We want to floss on each other. We want to be the best at everything. We want to act like everybody else don't exist, but we do. You know what I mean? I'm talking about amongst our own community. We don't even want to uplift each other. We don't want to support each other, and we don't want to see each other with money. And that's a fact. I'm talking about elderly people, black folk, and young black folk. We don't want to see each other successful. Because if we did, it'd be more of it. It would be more of it on the internet. It'd be more of it, period. What's on the internet? When you do those short videos, the majority of it is drama, theater. It's Christmas, and I'm fucking talking about how they trying to attach TD Jakes to Puff Daddy's, you know, shortcomings. And like I said, Puff Daddy was not the greatest person. He was not nice. But we need to deal with him in private, not in public. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Puff Daddy, but goddamn, man, it get to the point where it be like, all right, nigga, you see what they did to R. Kelly? You see what they did to Bill Cosby? They trying to do it to Marcellus Wiley. Now they trying to go after Method Man. That's why I'm trying to tell people we need to stop being the carriers of this acidic viral infection that the dominant society is placing amongst the black community. They're the ones doing it. Y'all want to have a real conversation? I looked outside. Today's Christmas. Chemtrails. They spraying the shit all in there. I'm just watching the shit. I'm like, oh my God. Merry Christmas as they kill you. They putting it in the food. You better go watch they clone Tyrone. They putting it in the shit you put in your hair. They putting all kinds of diseases in the food. I know they are. They just lay dormant in your fucking system. And then once you take something or you do something, boop, activated. We don't want to have those conversations, but we want to have conversations about TD Jake and Puffy, or about Umar Johnson with his bullshit. No diss, I got love for Umar Johnson, but my nigga, let's start from scratch. Nigga, you been talking about that motherfucking school since 2014. It's 2024, nigga. Where's the fucking school? Like, nobody wants that. Only person I seen call his ass out was Lord Jamar. Lord Jamar's like, bro, but where's the school at? Why you keep taking all this money? You ain't got the school. And yeah, they could have had that conversation in private. But I'm glad he did it in public. Lord Jamar did it in public, because you don't have no problem trying to chastise every other black man about some shit. Nigga, you ain't the Messiah. You feel me? Man. The only sensible thing that I saw on the internet was the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talking about Donald Trump and why people want to vote for Donald Trump and why people are done with the Democrats. That's the only a sensible thing that I seen on the internet. Not sensible, but that makes sense. My bad. The only sensible thing that I saw was the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talking about that shit, because I'm like, well, let's see, talk about something that's relevant and something that we need to look at. All this other in-house fighting and civil rivalry and civil war and all this other shit, man, leave that shit alone. Because the majority of these niggas just retweet and tweet. They ain't out in the community. I know a nigga that's out in the community. His name is David. That nigga's out in the community. That nigga's actually doing shit. A lot of motherfuckers just be running their fucking mouth. You like, oh, we'll warn you. No, nigga. One day I'm gonna go on Instagram and let you see my herbal cabinet. And you see all these herbs that I buy from a black herbalist, from two black herbalists. One out of Altadena, California, and one in Glendale. I spent a lot of money. I don't have to buy no herbs. You buy herbs from anybody. And been spending money with these brothers. Spending money with Freedom Paper Company. Getting black soap, getting all this. Man, stop. I've been supporting. I talk with my money. I don't have to be sitting up here like, yeah, y'all, so check this out. A lot of times I even put the shit on there. Ask David. Ask people that deal with me. I talk with my money. I ain't got time to be sitting up here just running my mouth about some shit, and then I ain't supporting no black businesses. That's the definition of a bum-ass motherfucking mentality, or Sambo Coon, tell them about the gun line, Haywood Shepherd, Steve from Django. You know, a lot of the black folk that you work with at the core plantations, that act like they down for you, as soon as the dominant society come around, they act like they don't know. You know how many black folk have done that to me at the corporate plantation? Shout out to Nuke. Shout out to Roxanne, aka Sister Cobweb. They know who I'm talking about. You know how many black folk have done that to me at the corporate plantation? You know how many black people have done that? I mean, one time I saw a black brother. I was like, man, what's going on, brother? He's like, man, I'm surprised you still here. I'm surprised they ain't fire your ass. And he said a bunch of white people, right? And I said, oh, you'll be gone before me. And then they fired his black ass. You see how that shit work? And I'm coming humble, but black folk, we just don't want to see each other win. Or just because we don't like a person's personality, or we don't like each other, we'll say the most harsh shit. Like, why you think I said shout out to Nuke? Nuke, no. A lot of black folk that we used to work with, they either love me or they hate me. And if they hate me, it's because I'm calling out they whole ass shit. And a lot of the whole ass shit, it be the shit like getting in front of the dominant society, throwing a motherfucker under the bus, not protecting much matters most, telling the dominant society interpersonal conversations that you having with other or fellow black folk. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm just like, man, we have to not be so addicted to drama and be more addicted to positivity and uplifting our people. And if you have disagreements, have those conversations behind closed doors. I've had them with plenty of people that I know. And I'd be like, man, I understand where you're coming from, but this is what I'm going to do, and I don't give a fuck what you got going on. We don't have to be friends. We don't have to talk. It ain't that big of a deal. I won't disparage you. You won't disparage me? Cool. I've had, man, y'all don't even know. I've had niggas tell me, I remember when I first started working at this one core plantation, you know, it's one of them mailroom jobs. Motherfucker told me I need to go sell cars because ain't no future in what I'm doing, right? This is what a motherfucker told me. You know, he's sitting at the cubicle, you know, got his glasses on, you know how to speak the dominant society's language, so he feels like he better than me because he had a cubicle. We're both for hired indentured servants, slaves, a new form of slavery, right? But you feel like you better than me because I'm in the mailroom or whatever. I didn't think nothing of it. But this is what I love about my people. A sister that I worked with at Opportunity Village at this other job, her cousins worked there. Her peoples worked there. And the sister that I worked at Opportunity Village told them, hey, Warren, that nigga is a solid motherfucker. Straight out. I didn't even know this. He's solid. He cool. He ain't into the drama. This is a real story. He not into the drama. He treat us all like queens. He always try to make us laugh. Like, they really fuck with me at Opportunity Village. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really know that until I left and told these other sisters. Well, one of the sisters that was in that department with that brother that told me, you need to go sell cars. You ain't gonna have no future here, man. Like, what you plan on doing your whole life, right? I didn't say nothing. I thought it was funny. But those sisters that worked there that were related to the sister at Opportunity Village, once they heard that, and then they started talking to me, and I, you know, buy property or whatever. And one of the sisters checked the shit out of him because he was talking shit about me when I wasn't around. Ah, man, he a goofy, dumbass nigga. Man, we gonna look up and 10, 20 years later, this motherfucker gonna be still working there. He ain't got shit. Woo. I know that's how black folk look at each other. Well, the sister checked him, and she had came to me. This is a true story. She had came to me. She said, look, Warren, I wasn't trying to put like your business out there, your financial business out there, but I had to because I didn't like the way he was fucking talking shit about you. And I'm like, no, you cool, man. We people, I ain't tripping. And she straight told him, why you up there talking shit about Warren? Warren got a better credit score than you and everybody else. He already got a property. Woo, start banging on him. She was like, Warren doing that as a joke. Warren is a jokester. He just likes to laugh and joke and play. You taking it serious, and you talking shit about him, he not even around. So while you talking all that shit about where he work at, he already in a property. Do y'all know This is a true story. Do y'all know that motherfucker, once he found that out, he tried to come back. He looked me up in the system to see if I did own something. Then he tried to come back and nigga explain to me. Well, yeah, man, I'm trying. And I just looked at him. Then he started asking me, like, how did you do that? I was like, man, like everybody else. And I was humble. I could have been like, I knew he wasn't in, in that field of things at the time, but it wasn't my place to do that. Sometimes you have to remain silent, humble, slow to speak, eager to hear. I just wanted to see how far he was gonna go, right? And you like, okay. And then he started to apologize to me. And I said, man, ain't no love lost. And then he ended up getting into some bullshit at the job where his bitch, he was fucking with another bitch, and this bitch brung dog food up to the bitch at the job and had all this drama going on because I knew everybody at the job, so they was telling me. I still didn't use that as ammo. Man, the last time I went up to that job or whatever, that motherfucker tried to duck and dodge my ass because he thought I was going to say something. I'm like, I'm just not like that because I want us to be one people. Like, and when I mean, like, let's have a movement. We don't have to agree on everything, but let's discuss that in private. But in public, when we're around the dominant society, we have to be on code. And that's why I'm doing this today. I know it's Christmas and all that, but we have to be on code. We have to possess the law of being on code. Neely Fuller Jr. And I feel like all this pointless drama ain't getting us nowhere. And I feel like people need to stop having people on their podcast that get clicks because that's a distraction. We don't have time to be fucking fighting and arguing about is Eminem the greatest rapper. Who gives a fuck? We know who the fuck the greatest rapper of all times is. It's a black man. It ain't him, and he know that. So why do we need to keep having this discussion? Why do we keep needing to see Dr. Umar Johnson or anybody go on somebody's platform and talk shit about who they fuck? Like, that's getting old. You like, Warren, why you saying that? Because we are deviating and pivoting from the point of reparations, black unity. We just pivot. We can have those conversations in private. We don't need to be doing that on something like Joe Budden. Joe Budden know what the fuck he doing. Joe Budden know what the fuck he doing. Because Joe Budden's, his baby mama, she's not Dominican, she's like Dominican or something. And they treat that as Spanish. Not Spanish, because she's not from Spain. You know what I mean? She ain't black. And that's fine. But what I'm saying is, sometimes you're going to see people have people on for clicks and views. And there ain't no need to do that shit because we got other shit to be worried about. Straight up, we do. Interest rates are going down. Now it's time for black folks to start buying homes. But guess what? When interest rates go down, homes become more expensive. If you're waiting around for the 2008 crisis, it's not ever happening again. They're not. Vegas is definitely not going to let that happen. That's why they got basketball teams and football teams, all this other shit coming out here. So they can rely on that if the economy tanks. It's time to start buying IRAs, property. I was having this conversation with some black folk the other day. Having conversations with my family. Every time I'm around my family, they probably get tired of it. I don't give a fuck. That's good you got a PS5, but do you have an IRA and are you contributing to it? Do you have an LLC? Do you have a Robinhood account? Are you buying stock in 401k? I brung up George Floyd's daughter and Barbara Streisand. Barbara Streisand didn't give George Floyd's daughter money. She bought her a whole bunch of Disney stock. That's how you do it. While we sitting up here talking about bullshit a lot of the times, the dominant society is making money moves. And let me tell you something. Dave from No Combines know, James Youngblood know, man, in this real estate game, you don't really see a whole lot of black folk. And when you do, they like hide the information. Like it's like, you know, like why? But everybody else shares the information, but we don't. And we gotta start listening. Let me tell you something, in my neighborhood, man, it's like 4 to 5 black families in my neighborhood. The majority of it is Asians, whites, and Hispanics. That ain't good. We gotta get on our P's and Q's, buy property, stop dealing with pointless drama. As our brother David talks about, being addicted to theater. We gotta stop that shit. And let's get ready for the year 8. And I'll holler at y'all when I can. And I hate to do this. Merry Christmas, everybody. and have a prosperous, new year. If I don't get back on, hopefully I get back on before. But man, we got to get it together. And when I'm talking about 702. We got to really get it together. There's certain conversations that need to be had in private, and there's certain things that need to be had in public. And we got to stop chastising each other on big platforms. So everybody can be arguing. Well, I agree with Dr. Umar. Well, I don't agree. Okay, fine. But that's not come on, man. And tying TD Jakes and Puppy, and God damn, man. Enough is enough. Sometimes we gotta stop a lot of this bullshit. For real. Because it's pointless. The elections is coming up and we shouldn't be worried about nothing else but if they got a specific agenda of foundational Black Americans. I'm done. Guilty nigga out.